Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Desire Smashing Sex Stigmas with Tobi and Dina. And today we're going to open up a raw, necessary conversation for you all. Yes, about what happens when we evolve, change, and discover new parts of ourselves, especially sexually and emotionally, and the courage
Mhm.
it takes to share those truths with someone we love. So, we're going to talk all kinds of stuff today. Who am I? I'm Toby Staples, and I'm a self mastery mentor, yes, and an energy alchemist. And I am with the lovely Dina Alexander, who can introduce herself to the audience.
I love. I'm very happy to be here with you. As you know, the Thursdays are special. Welcome everybody that is listening to us. The Sacred Union, where we explore intersection of sexuality, soul, and self-expression. My name is Dina Alexander, your sacred sexual awareness coach, and today we are going to, like Toby said, we're going deep into a tender, raw, and absolutely necessary conversation. What if the next layer of your truth scared you? Because it is real. What you are feeling is real and it is strange. What happens when you change? When your desires shift? When a new identity begins to emerge from within you and you realize the version of that you've known is evolving. So today's episode is about the sacred crossroads, the moments when your soul whispers something true and you wonder if it's safe, eh, um, if you can say it up loud, if someone can understand you. So tell me, Toby, when I shared this topic with you, what came up?
Oh, I was wondering, I was like, oh, okay, well, coming out to the partner. How are we going to come out with this dynamic? I got excited. I was like, oh, yes, what are we going to share this week? But this is a huge topic because there's so many people that feel shamed and stigmatized by their own desires. And,
Yes.
you know, I personally, I'd love to talk about it because anytime I've been in interactions or in relationships, there is that secret dynamic of not sure if you can express yourself to your partner and coach them about how you like things or want things and I can honestly say, like, the men that I have had interactions with throughout my life, well, it's the farthest thing from the interactions that I want now. You see? So everything changes. And when you're in a dynamic of partners, well, you either grow together or you grow apart. And if there's no safety and security of that bridge of expression, you're actually dismantling your connection.
Yes. Love it. So it's simple. We are not static beings. We are evolving every time. We are erotic, we are emotional, multidimensional creatures. And that means that over time, in relationship, in intimacy, and in self connection, our truths change. And we haven't been taught about how to deal with these changes. So, and maybe that someone that is listening to us is feeling that it is becoming queer, that your desires has gone quiet or awakened in a new way, that you are drawn to kink or tantra or open relationship, that your gender feels more fluid than you once believed, or that what used to turn you on just doesn't anymore. That this is the sacred messiness of becoming, you're growing and evolving. It is both beautiful and terrifying, Toby, because um, thi- these things are not being spoken about. Okay, and the majority of these talk shows are very superficial and very um, power struggling. And I would like to go deeper. I'd like to go deeper with you. So The truth always carries risks, and that is why we reject these changes the majority of the time. Okay, and these risks are being misunderstood instead of taking it in and on trying to understand ourselves first. And risks sometimes can disrupt something you love because your partner will not accept. You know that your partner will not accept, or really your religion will not accept.
Well,
Uh,
that's something. Oh, that's something I got to jump in here with. You know what? It's not about what your partner accepts or doesn't. What do you accept for you? You know, your evolution doesn't stop in a relationship. Your self discovery doesn't stop in a relationship. It actually expands. And, you know, it's not about what another wants or thinks or judges you for. What do you want? What do you desire? What is your soul calling you to? And you got to be honest with that. If you can't be honest with that within yourself, well, guaranteed you can't be honest with that with your partner. But you have to have that clarity in self, and that we all evolve daily. Your experience yesterday may not turn your crank the way it did yesterday today because of what you've lived after. And you have to be respectful of your own evolution and the evolution of a committed relationship. You see, there's a real stigmatized attachment to everybody believes their partner should just stay how they met them. Well, you are in delusion if you think that.
yes, totally with you. Totally with you. And I love the way that you've spoken with passion. But the reality is different, and we know that, Toby. I would love if everybody it would be as you or me, that we are outspoken, we are bold, we communicate, and but there are women out there or men that their partners will not. It's not like fluid. Okay, it's not. You cannot. It's not open for new things, and some relationships think that everything stopped when you started your relationship. No, discovering yourself doesn't stop there. It stays. It keeps on evolving, and
Yeah.
you should be aware of that. Say so. The commitment means to be committed to yourself, as you said. You should be committed to yourself, and your partner is also evolving, and that evolvement should be can be kept um, pleasant. Let me use that word. If you communicate and you are fair, you are authentic to yourself and to your partner. Okay, so self discovery don't stop when you fall in love. In fact, it deepens because it opens other doors.
Yes.
Real intimacy asks that we continue meeting ourselves, and we should be very clear about that. And you will be meeting yourself and your partner every over and over again. Okay, so I love the way that you place it, and I want to talk about something else. um what if you are the one? How can you create a safe container when you and your partner is evolving? And there is a difference between evolving and yeah, gradually. But there is a difference when you are a heterosexual and you feel like you want to be a bisexual. That's a big step. Okay, so let's talk about that, because I have a story. I want to hear before what you think about that.
Well, you know what I think first and foremost, whatever person wants to explore and decide to choose, I think that they have every right to do so. First of all, I think that that is they can be open with exploration, whatever it is that they want to explore, because if their soul is calling them to do that, well then, but you see, this is another thing too. If people are locked in their lower chakras and really are not self-aware, well then they're just having sex to fuck. Okay? No matter what it is. And I hate saying that like that, but that's the truth of it. And if I was in a situation where I had a partner beside me, there would have to be a no fear rule. No fear. Because fear is what brings on the guilt, the shame, the judgment, and everything else. If there was a no fear rule, we could speak openly. That is all that has to be open in that clarity of communication. Because you know what? Everybody has their right to explore, but are you loving somebody unconditionally, or are you claiming to with a bag of conditions? You see, that also distinguishes a lot in a relationship. And we have this construct of, oh, unconditional love. No, that's a list of conditions when you look at it.
Yes, there is no unconditional love.
So when you bring unconditional love for yourself and for your partner to the board, you know what? I think that's the best for both things, for exploration, evolving, and exploring. Because when there is true unconditional love, you understand the evolution of your partner. You don't want to restrict their growth, their learning. No, you don't. You want to be there to support them through it, no matter what it is. But everybody wants to blame, shame, guilt the desires of another, and then judge them and say, oh, I can't do that. Well, that's conditional love, people. And you're scared of change. And you're scared of loving your partner through the real evolution and self-discovery and growth. And I'll preach it passionately because you know what? There's such a misconception of loving your partner right in this world right now. And, you know, it comes with a bag of conditions and a bag of fears and a bag of judgments. And then what does that lead to? Resentment and total disconnection.
Yes, totally with you. Totally with you. I would like to place it like this. Before I share the story, because it is a story of a client. When I started as a sex coach here on the island, I always thought that courage is a sacred practice. Okay, and that's what I tell my clients always. Courage is a sacred practice. So this lady came to me. No, she didn't come to me. She messaged me through LinkedIn, and she, "Elle, how are you? Be fearless to open up communication." Yes, totally with you.
I love that
So
you're here with us, Al.
yeah. So this lady messaged me and she said, "Oh, are you also a coach?" Everybody becomes a coach here on LinkedIn. So she has that attitude. So I told her, "Look, yeah, there are different coaches, and there are some of us that change names into therapists and that kind of. I chose to stay. I am a coach. I'm not a doctor. I'm a coach. I know a lot, and I can help you get to wherever you want to reach of your goals. But that's what a coach does." So I told her, "If you want to know more about me, because there is a click, because you took the time and sent me this message. So you need to be aware. And on top of it, I'm a sacred sexual awareness coach." So this lady told me, "Okay, I like the way that you responded. We're going to meet somewhere." So I met her at the cafe, and she was very bold and very blunt and very and I told her, "Look, I cannot tell you if I can help you. We can start, and this is my price, and you'll see." So at the end of our journey, she was very grateful because she thought she was sexual, and she was living on the island like that. But she always loved women, beautiful women. She was a beautiful woman. And I coached her to get to know herself without fears, because not all of us are like you or like me. She had fears, even though she was a very strong woman, but the fears was in that area. What if someone will see her as with another lady, and then so she went through that journey with me, and she was very grateful because it opened up some doors for her. She got to know that she is bisexual, and she could be very happy with another lady. And that's what I wanted to. That's why I chose this topic, because some of us need someone to coach us to go through that journey, and some of us does not need that. And then some of us go through the journey and have a lot of pain because you didn't hire a coach. But for me, it's important because that at least you have someone to talk with. Okay, and some of us does not have friends, and we live in four wall room. um you need someone to talk with, if you when you have those feelings. Okay, what comes up? Tell me.
Well, as a self mastery mentor, this has been a big part of my own awareness and growth and my evolution as a soul being, because I've been with more than two handfuls of women and I've been with more than two handfuls of men. Okay. Like, I have explored my own sexuality in my own right. But who do I stand as today? Doesn't matter whether I've had women experiences or not. I stand as a woman in my rightful divine feminine energy that loves men. And I love the energy of women, their necessities, but am I attracted to them? No. It was an exploration and evolutionary phase that I went through. And I'm proud to speak of it with no fear. No fear. Why? Well, but I'll tell you something honestly and openly. I had to go through my own exploration of awareness. And had I had a partner at that time, well, yes, I would have been judged for sure. And, come on, my last partner, when I tried to even implement a vibrator to heighten the sexual he was like, well, I guess you don't need me then. You see the fear, the shame, the blame, the guilt, the denial. Well, clearly he wasn't doing the job if I had to pull one out. So, but I'm the type that I've lived it, so I can speak about it with no fear. But I remember what it was like, feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't tell anybody what I'm feeling. Oh my gosh, I can't tell anybody about what I just experienced. Oh my God, what are they going to think about me? What are they going to say? Oh, I'm going to be outcasted. Oh my gosh, nobody's going to want to talk to me. Nobody will see me the same way after that. Oh my God, what is it? What, everybody's going to think I'm gay? Oh, what? Constant glitches in the system. And this is why I sit here as a self-mastery mentor telling you all, hey, I've walked that journey. And let me tell you, what Dina's telling you about having a coach will save you from all of that. Because that fear is real. That shame is real. And it dismantles your capacity to even discover positively and purposely and passionately for yourself. And you have to live it to learn it. Do not make judgments from something that you haven't experienced yet.
Yes. Love it. I love it. While you were talking, I downloaded the new information. I remember I had a client that it was a long time ago. I was studying to become a sex coach. I didn't open up my practice yet. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with one mini love step. Yes, true, totally with you. That step needs to be done, and that step is courageous. So this client, she came to me, and while we were talking, she came for another thing, and not necessary intimacy, but we were talking, and while she was telling me something, she told me that a lady was trying to get her in her bed. So it was a lesbian, and she was a heterosexual. So, and I asked her what sensation that gives you, what comes in you when that lady approaches you or talks to you. And she said nothing, but she was wondering why a woman would want her in her bed while she is heterosexual. She is not lesbian. She doesn't like women. she thinks she was never with a woman. So I told her, maybe you should explore. And if you don't have anything, if you don't see it like, you don't feel it like it's nasty or it's your friend, maybe you should explore. And said, if I wasn't, she didn't have me, she would have never thought on that to go and explore. So she came. So she went and explored with this lady. She came back, and she was like ashamed because she said yes, she went to with the lady to the lady's home, and they made love. They had sex, and she said what the lady gave her, oral sex, was perfect. But the lady told her, hey, it's your turn. So she had to go down on the lady. And she said, Dina, I wasn't prepared for that. She never thought she had to go down. So she went down and she vomited. She vomited all the food. And she said, terrible. She was so ashamed. She was like, Dina, that's so nasty. I don't like pussies. It's nothing for me. I told her that's not the best way to get to know that you are not a lesbian and you're not bisexual, but it's a way. But we need to explore. And I'm telling these stories because it's for me important for everybody to know that by exploring, not necessarily only listening and reading books and reading, being on a social media, you'll get that experience. Okay. And when you're doubting, because this lady is like, I don't feel bad about what the lady is doing towards me, but I don't understand. So if you don't understand and you're open to explore, go and do that in a safe way. And I was happy that I was at her side because she wasn't thinking on, even though you're exploring, you need to take care on your safety. She didn't think that she had to go down, but she knew that if you need to go down, you need to use your condoms. Yes, even though you're giving oral sex for the first time, you don't know this person, you need to use condoms. Yes. I needed to share that.
No, I think that's hilarious, and I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you did because it talks about one of our points is navigating identity shifts. And if you're unsure of yourself and your sexuality, it really does affect your identity big time. And sexual exploration really helps because then you, like you said, you know what you like and what you don't like.
Yes.
And and with all of my experiences with women, I can say 99% of them, I wasn't the one going down. They were. So it took that one time for me to realize it wasn't for me. You see?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm glad you talked about it because like I said, I've had many, many interactions with women, but it wasn't me going down on them. You see?
The majority.
That shifted everything for me.
Yes.
Me being the one in that role, that was it for me. I was done. Thanks. I've had enough. That's not what I want. It really felt good because a woman knows how to touch another woman. But for me, no, that's what emptied my cup of tea. Made me realize, nah, I'm not even bi. But it took that experience to know.
This is a very good topic maybe for the future because maybe we will come back with these beautiful topics because a lot of men are lesbian, they are lacking oral sex because their partner will not go down on them because they don't like it. And that's a good topic. Okay. I think there was a study in the US that 20% of the divorces is because of lacking of oral sex. Yes.
Wow. Wow. That's a real problem, though.
Yes, it is
That
a
is
problem.
a real problem because the men expect it. The men expect it even before sex. So why
The
shouldn't
women,
it be expected from the women? The women expecting that from their partners. Like this is one-sided bullshit going on. Well, guess what? We have this sort of truth in our tongue, and we will spit the truth to you all today. Hey,
yes, true.
what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah. And if the truth, your truth is shifting, everybody's truth is shifting, and it scares, it's scary, but you're not alone. As Toby said, you're not alone. If you're navigating a desire that you've never spoken out loud or identified, it's only the beginning. And in the beginning, you should name it. And if you don't know the name, maybe you should contact one of us. Okay, that's the work that I do. We do. We hold space for you. Okay, and I can talk for myself as a sacred sexual awareness coach. I guide individuals and couples through the raw, the real, and the beautiful process of embracing the new part of yourself, healing the shame around sexuality or identity, creating safe containers for intimacy, and reclaiming embodied pleasures, expression, and voice. That's my work, and I love it. I love it.
You know, that's why I love it so much too, being a self-mastery mentor, because, it was very challenging for me to go through my whole life without a mentor or without a coach there to assist me, because family didn't understand me, friends didn't understand me. They all made this, this judgment of me, and they fed that, not even giving me a chance or not even giving themselves the chance to get to know me. Their beliefs of me were flooded by what everybody else said. Well, I'm very different from what anybody believes me to be. And that's why, like Dina said, we can be that safe container for others because we've walked the journey ourselves. So, guys, we're really grateful for your time and energy today. Yes, our podcast will be moving to a new time. We will announce it for you all next week when we have decided the new scheduling that works best for us. But we would love to continue to bring you all out the truth and the love and the wisdom that we do share. And every time we come out here, it's clear. You all need the help. Reach out. Reach out. It's as simple as that. Dina is an expert at what she does. Well, so am I. Well, guess what? We come out here in a powerful duo to deliver to you guys everything that you need. So now it's up to you to take the next step. Don't you want to be free from fear and shame and guilt and blame and judgment and denial and distracting your own self from your own desires? Hey, Dina, what comes up in you for that? We'll close up our episode today.
Yes, it's time for us to go to the next level. So I see there are people listening to us. So I am assuming that you are writing me now a letter, or Toby, a message stating that you want to a discovery session, and then we'll sit together. That comes to me right now because I think it's time for changes. There are people listening to us through the whole podcast, and that's a sign.
Yes, very much so. And we love you. And that's why we come out and do it. I'm in Montreal, Canada. And look, Dina's in Aruba. And we come as a joint force out here to bring you all love. So, connectivity is key. Well, you got to be connected to self to empower your connection to anything in this world. So reach out to us, and we love you. And we're grateful you were here today. We'll see you next week. Bye.